Just a few days ago, this bin where the white concrete powder was full to the top. Now, completely empty. Hey there everyone, my name is GamePar and welcome back to another episode on the InfinityCraft server, coming at you from the very top of the world, the base. We are looking at some work that I have done off camera in between episodes, and boy oh boy is this ever some tedious work. It involves a whole pile of counting and a whole lot of meticulous block placing. If you put a block wrong, boy, you got a bit of work to do to fix it afterwards. So it does take some concentration and a bunch of counting. And have I ever gone through a whole pile of concrete? I mean, I thought I had a bunch already ready to go, but here, I'm gonna take a quick skydive over to the concrete factory. And if you remember in a previous episode, we had a whole pile of white concrete powder in it. And if you look at it now, look how depleted the white concrete powder is. Let me just land here and give you a good look. So this was pretty much full to the brim with white concrete powder. Now it's all the way down here. I've just spent a whole pile of time making and mining more concrete. So we're going to have to do a trip over to the desert and the area for mining out gravel and do some grindy work there pretty soon. I think I still have a bunch on hand over in the temporary base, but I'm gonna do a time lapse to start off this video today because I really want to get as much work done on the shell of this base as possible. It is going to be so much work, and if I can at least get, I don't know, maybe 10 more levels. Well, 10 is probably unrealistic. If I can get at least maybe 5 more levels to this, it's going to start flattening out on the top, and it's going to really show you the shape of this thing. So I want to get at least that bit accomplished as a time-lapse today, and then I'm not sure yet what we're going to do for the rest of the episode. I really don't have a plan other than trying to get this base completed. So, well, not the base completed. The base is going to take us forever to do, but I mean, the shell on the base. Hopefully we can get a good chunk of progress on the shell of the base, and then we'll just figure out what else we're doing for this episode. In today's quick chat, I want to talk a little bit about hobbies and the kinds of hobbies that I do, but I'm really curious about the types of hobbies that other people do. Everybody needs to have something in their life that is restorative. Now, what do I mean by restorative? What I mean is that life is crazy busy, no matter at what stage of your life you're at. Whether you're young and in school, whether you're older and you're working and in your career, whether you're retired, we are always so busy, especially in today's world. There's just so much going on that we need to have something in our life that is restorative, meaning that it restores to us the things that we lose when we are busy working or busy doing the things that we need to do in life that aren't necessarily fun. We need things that restore to us energy, that re-energize us, that rejuvenate us, that we can do, that are restful for us. They restore to us the things that we lose when we are busy. And for me, Minecraft is one of those things, and specifically the whole process of creating these videos for YouTube. I don't do it so much because I'm looking to be YouTube famous or because I want loads of people to see what I'm doing. I mean, that's kind of cool that people are watching what I'm doing, but the whole reason for me doing this InfinityCraft thing where I'm uploading videos to YouTube is that it is an outlet for me. It is restorative. It is a way for me to be creative. And another thing that does that for me is my model building. And I have a model building channel called Canadian Starships, which is my second channel where I upload videos about building model starships, specifically from Star Trek, at least right now. I might get into some other stuff later. But for me, that is restorative. It means that it restores to me some of the energy that I lose in doing the things of daily life, whether it's my job or whether it is just busy life. One of the other things it does for me is it gives me an opportunity to have an outlet for my perfectionism. I am quite a perfectionist in a lot of different areas, and my model building is a way for me to have an outlet for being a perfectionist where it doesn't annoy other people or it doesn't impact or affect other people. Because sometimes if you're too much of a perfectionist and you're doing things in a team setting or things that affect other people, people can get annoyed with you because you might take too long on something, or you might just not let something go even if it is good enough for the goal that you're trying to achieve. So building the models for me is a way for me to have that outlet of being a perfectionist without it annoying other people. On the current model project that I'm working on, I spent hours and hours and hours and really months carving out little tiny windows and just being completely and totally obsessed with the little details. I'm curious, what do you do for hobbies? What is restorative for you? What re-energizes you? What is really restful for you? Leave me a comment down below. So after that bit of time lapse, this is as far as I've gotten. Seriously. This is just going to take me forever to do this project. So I thought I lost all of my white concrete block shulker boxes, but apparently I left them in here when I was doing some smelting up. So, I was a little worried there for a moment. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to just continue working on that for a little while. I'm going to bring you back when there's some progress to show you. So one of the other reasons why I'm not doing this as a time-lapse anymore is because, well, it's logistically difficult to do this build and do it as a time-lapse. When I'm doing a time-lapse, I have to record with my camera account on the computer I normally play Minecraft on. I then play Minecraft on my laptop. But what I've been doing building this is I've got the plan open on my laptop and I've been using the cursor on my laptop to keep track of the blocks and where I am in the pattern. But if I'm recording the time-lapse, I can't do that. So this is just going to be logistically so much easier. Just a few days ago, this bin where the white concrete powder was full to the top. Now, completely empty. That's just how much concrete this project is taking. I've made up a bunch of new concrete powder. I'm going to fill this thing back up as much as I can off camera, probably between episodes, and I'm going to need to do some resource gathering of sand and gravel. But what I think I'm going to do for that, at least for the sand, is I'm going to start getting rid of all the sand underneath the base, because I don't know whether I've mentioned or not, but this thing is just going to be chewing out the earth underneath it, and there's going to be a huge gaping hole all the way down to, well, a simulated void. So I think that's where we're going to get most of the sand. But yeah, that's a huge amount of concrete that's just gone and been used. Good thing I had a bit of a backup for the store. I'm going into my reserve, into my backup from my store. There's just no question about that. Popped onto my camera account. Just wanted to show you the progress on this thing so far. I think I'm working currently on level 37 of this structure here. The levels get higher as they go up. The top level will be level 50. So the top ring that I'm working on is level 37. And that means that we've got 13 more layers to go, right? Yeah, 13 more layers to go. So, just to give you a little bit of an idea of the progress going on and the shape that this thing is taking. Turn my clouds off for a moment just so you can see what's going on with the base so far. Got quite a few levels. Actually, I'm working currently on level 39 is the next one I've got to do. So, yeah, 39 is where level I'm working on. That means I've got 11 layers still to do. And that's going to fill in the whole area there. This is seriously some long-term work. Not quite sure why the beacons aren't loading there. The beacons are still there. But yeah, this thing is a piece of work, isn't it? Just taking a long time. Well, I better get back at it. So I've come up with a little bit of an easier way of doing this. Yeah. So you'll see that I've got the circles up there. Those are the inside edges of each layer. And this is making it go a lot easier. All I'm having to do is count out the outside layer. And then once all those outside layers are done, then I'll be able to just go and fill in. And I don't even have to really think about it when that comes time to just fill in those spots. So you can see, let me get it up high enough here to have a quick look back. Yeah, so the inside rings of all these sections. So this would be the outside layer, and then the inside layer is all done. Then all I have to do is go in and fill in like this. But this has seriously taken so much concrete that I am almost out, I think. I've got to go and see if I can find any extra reserves that I might have on hand. I'm currently doing the 47th level, I believe, on the plan shape. Obviously, there's a lot of levels I'm not doing underneath because it would be equally replicated top and bottom on the shape pattern I'm using. But That means that there's 3 more levels to go, and obviously the levels get thicker, like wider, the higher up you go, because I've kind of created this custom shape where it's rounded, really rounded on the edges, and then kind of levels out here. And you'll see that once it's all done, and we get a bit of a side profile of it going on. But this is going so much faster. Plus, once I get these inside rings done, I don't even have to look at a pattern to fill in the rest of it. I can do that anytime that I want to without really having to think about it too much. So let me just get the rest of these inside circles done, and we'll take a look to see the shape as a whole. Here's a little tip for you. These blocks here are 1 block lower than the maximum build height level. So if you place a bed on this level, you can't sleep. It says height limit for building is 256 blocks. That's kind of interesting. I can understand not sleeping on top of the build height level, but not being able to place a block on the block below and not being able to sleep, that just doesn't make any sense to me. Did I say a block? I meant a bed. But if I take, let me just get rid of these creepers here so they don't blow me up. I really need to get some light up here. Oh, wow. But if I was to put a bed down here, then I could sleep. How weird is that? Huh. You learn something every day, don't you? Burn! Burn in the sun, I tell ya. We need to get a few more beacons going on here. We need to at least add a couple beacons to this build in this episode. Let's head over to the Wither Skelly over here and see if anybody has been so kind as to sell me their Wither Skeleton skulls. Hopefully we've got a few in here. Okay, none in the first box, none in the second box, none in the third box. Seriously? Wow. Is a diamond block seriously not enough incentive, guys, to sell me your Wither Skelly skulls? Oh, I mean, if I was another player and I saw this deal, I'd be taking full advantage of it. I'd be rich. Huh. Well, apparently I need to sweeten the deal. Let's see, what could we do? Right now, GamePar will give 1 diamond block for each skull you provide. How about this? GamePar will give 2 diamond blocks for each skull provided. There we go. That should hopefully sweeten the deal a little bit and encourage the InfinityCraft members to get on getting those Wither Skelly skulls. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all these out of here. We're going to double up here, and we're going to need to go and get ourselves some more diamonds. Then we're going to take these. I'm going to need an even amount, I guess. There we go. That's what we're going to have to do. I'm just going to put this in here for the time being. Hopefully that'll sweeten the deal, and they will sell me their Wither Skelly skulls like nobody's business. But I'm going to have to go in between episodes and do some grinding, I think. I am going to go and spend 2 hours between episodes grinding out Wither Skeleton skulls. So what I want you to do is leave your prediction down in the comment section below. How many Wither Skelly skulls do you think that I will be able to get in 2 hours of grinding in the Wither Skelly skull farm? That's 2 hours uninterrupted farming in the Wither Skelly skull farm in the Nether. Leave me your guess in the comments below, and we'll find out who was right in the next episode. So you can see the base up there, the bit that started to render down here. On the ground in the desert, you can see that there's a ring, a shadow. That's the part that is solid, filled in, and it's the portion directly underneath. Now, obviously, vanilla Minecraft, the shadows are directly underneath things, so you don't really line up with the movement of the sun. You need shader packs and stuff for that to work. So it's a little bit odd that the shadow is directly under the structure, but we are going to need to harvest a whole pile of sand to create more white concrete. And what I was thinking was that since we're going to be digging out a huge chunk of the ground directly underneath the base, as if it's chewing out the resources of the world, what I thought I would do is outline on the ground the outer ring of the base. So matching up on the ground, the outer ring of the outer layer of blocks on the base. And I was thinking about what kind of block I should use to do that, and I was thinking that I should be using endstone, because just like this structure that we're standing on, where there's a void underneath and the end is creeping out, I think that we should do something similar with the area that our spaceship base, star base, whatever it is drilling into the ground, and the same kind of thing is happening. There's a rift in the dimensional planes, and the end is starting to creep out. So if we mark and delineate the outside of the ring in the end stone, that gives us a start on some detail work that we might want to do later. So I don't have enough. I have a stack of 64, so I need to head over to the end and do a little bit of collecting, and then I'm going to get started on putting that ring down on the ground. Now, I don't want to dig the main end island up too much, so I think I'm going to pick one of these units and head out to the end, you know, the end islands, and collect some stone there. For some reason, I thought this would go faster. I thought I could just, like, tear through this stuff. I guess not. I'm guessing I'm going to need about 4 stacks of this stuff to do the outer ring. I can't remember how much it was actually taking me to do the outer ring in concrete, but I'm going to guess that I'm going to need at least 4 stacks here. No! That wasn't even my fault. He looked at me. Well, I mean, he didn't even look at me. I had a pumpkin on my head. He got in my way as I was mining. Stupid Enderman. Alright, I think I've picked everything up. Did I miss anything? I'd hate something to despawn just because I was lazy and didn't look around enough. No, looks like I've picked up everything. Alright, let's finish off this stack and get back to the overworld. See? Did you see that? That's exactly what the guy did before. And he got in the way of my pickaxe. And then I hit him because he got in my way. Stupid Enderman. So I need to find the exact point on the ground that matches with this block here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my coordinates. So I've got 580 by 19. So I'm going to drop down. Into the water, just like that, and find 580 by 19. Oh, looks like I've got some critters to deal with here. Okay, 580 by 19. Here we go. So this should be directly underneath the block on the end. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to load back up my schematic for this, and I'm just going to copy the outside ring in endstone here all the way around. So I underguessed how much endstone I would need by about half. I have half of this circle done with the amount that I just got from the end. And so I'm going to have to spend a little bit of time and mine out about the same amount again of end stone. But I'm not going to do that right now because I want to get that skeletal structure up there done. So hopefully this will give you a really good idea of how this base is shaping up. And I use that word quite literally because without being able to back off here and get a really good wide angle look at this thing, you don't really get an idea of the shape of it and just how big it is and how it's coming along. So yeah, I think this is really cool. It's it's coming along quite nicely. Obviously, we've got all of the inside rings of each level installed, but we're going to need to fill in all of this concrete, and that's going to take a whole pile of concrete. Now, I did find a bunch of concrete that I had stashed away to refill the concrete market, because I figured that the white concrete would go really, really quickly, which, well, it hasn't. I haven't sold a whole lot of the white concrete, but that might be a good thing because, you know, I've got to use a whole pile of it myself. So I did find a bunch. I doubt it's going to be enough because I think I've only put about a quarter of the concrete that's necessary in here so far. It's just going to take forever to get that done. Now, we are going to fill in all these empty spots, but we will be taking a bunch out as well because we're going to be adding things like windows, access ports, hatches, some decorative stuff, and that's all going to need to be kind of carved into the outside. I wanted to get the main structure and shape in place, and then we could go to town decorating it from there. There's a whole pile of internal volume that's going to be in here. There's going to be a couple different levels to this thing. Obviously, there's going to be things like sorting machine, storage, things like that. We're also going to do some decorative rooms like quarters for I was going to say staff, but for crew members, that kind of thing, because we are kind of like a spaceship or station or something or other like that. But I think it's really coming along really nicely. So I hope that you've really enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure that you hit that like button. If you're new to my channel or haven't done so yet, make sure that you hit that subscribe button today and make me a very happy GamePar. As always, why don't I take a few moments and check out the YouTube channels of the other InfinityCraft members. I'm telling you, it's well worth your time to check them out. Show them some love, give them some likes and some subscribes. But for now, this has been GamePar from the InfinityCraft server. Have a great day, everyone.